Shalom. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakak, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect, and much respect to the brothers pushing his word in the four winds of the earth. And shalom to you few sincere sisters out there as well. This is Brother Ariyah coming at you with another edition of The Love of Many Shall Wax Cold. Okay, so I got a couple of I'm going to read this one. I'm not going to read any other. But this one here is crazy. It says, girl 15 among 3 found slain in House of Horrors after their torture was broadcast live on Instagram. And this happened maybe a month ago. And it says 4 people have been arrested in Argentina following the brutal slaying of 2 women and a teenager whose alleged torture authorities say was shared on social media. The dismembered remains of Brenda Del Castillo, 20, Morena Verde, 20, and Lara Morena Gutierrez, 15, was discovered on Wednesday, September the 24th, in Florencio Valera, roughly 16 miles south of Buenos Aires. Okay, and it says, authorities say the alleged motive behind the murders was a warning. This is what happens to those who steal drugs from me. Okay, this is talking about Peruvian drug traffickers who they stole from. And it says investigators revealed, according to Candina 3 and La Nacion, it was not immediately clear whether the message was written or presented alongside the alleged torture. Okay. And it says an examination of their remains suggests that they were likely killed in the early hours of Saturday, the 20th of September. Authorities report that the victims were subject to extreme torture. Morena reportedly had her 5 fingers and 1 ear severed. According to La Nacion, Castillo was stabbed to death before her attackers allegedly cut open her abdomen, per autopsy cited by the outlet. The torture was allegedly broadcast on social media within a closed group of around 45 people. It says authorities discovered the remains in a well inside a house dubbed the House of Horrors. The location was identified using the victim's cell phone signals. It said the discovery sparked widespread protests. Okay, and they said they arrested 4 individuals, man. You know, this showing you, man, that the love of many is definitely waxing cold out here. You got an Indianapolis teen mom shot in the head by the boyfriend in front of the daughter. Okay, then he tried to say that she committed suicide, man. You got another dude, this dude right here in the yellow. He traumatized the girl 6, and he kept as a twisted sex couple slave. A 6-year-old girl was kept as a twisted couple sex slave in dirt pit alongside a corpse of her smothered little sister. I mean, yeah, these people are crazy out here, man. You got the Bronx drill rapper who got killed leaving parole office, you know, and it's worldwide, man. You got a video here showing Hamas executing Palestinians, okay, right here, all right, and yeah, these people are bugged the hell out here, not in just Babylon the Great, but across the globe. There's so many things happening. That's why YAHWASHI, of course, we're going to get that, said that the love of many is waxing cold. This is why this is the title of these videos, because you see it in every video I put up. And it says, because iniquity shall abound, right? Sin upon sin upon sin, being stacked up, you know, one on top of the other. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay, and this is what we're seeing out here. And we're seeing that these evils are increasing and they're getting worse, and they are getting worse. You know, showing us that we are definitely near the end. And I'll read 16 and 17 here, 2nd Esdras, the 14th chapter. And start at verse 16, and I'll end at 17. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age. so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. Okay? And there's a video that I put up on this video later on where you see some Jakes. They ran up on, you know, this Edomite in West Hollywood, man, you know, in broad daylight. I could see if it was nighttime, but broad daylight, man. You know, that's not something that's really normal like that. You know, you see Jake shoot at Jake in broad daylight or rob Jake, you know, in broad daylight, you know, in the hood and all that. That's common. But for them to go into a neighborhood where they stick out like a sore thumb and just jump out on a dude and just rob him like that in broad daylight without a care is showing this prophecy here. Real quick. Let's get Isaiah the 19th chapter. I think it's 16. No, 17. Where it says here, in the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Right? So that's what that reminded me of. In the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. You know, showing you that these Jakes are now turning, you know, to rob, you know, the more fortunate instead of the less fortunate, man. You know, they going out into these high price neighborhoods and robbing these Edomites, man. And these Edomites don't have, and they know that these Edomites don't have, you know, their head on the swivel. You know, they don't have a care in life. You know, they don't. There's no fear, no nothing when they're in their own comfort zone. You know, which are their neighborhoods. They don't fear getting robbed or killed or kidnapped or none of that. You know, they just skipping down the street, man. And now Jakes are starting to invade these richer upper class neighborhoods to take their goods, man. All right. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he hath determined against it. Okay, and this is what we're seeing. You know, just the beginnings of all-out chaos, man. People are really losing it out here. I've seen a couple of videos today where, you know, people went into certain supermarkets or places where they can buy food, and the meats was like $84 for a steak, you know, $90 for a steak. You know, people are about to lose it, man. You know, people are not going to be able to eat things like these videos and those articles that I just read are going to become a thing of normalcy, man. Shalom.
Prosecutors and police are working around the clock to bring Kata Scott home. And tonight we are learning new details about a separate kidnapping charge brought against Keon King earlier this year. He's the man who authorities charged yesterday with kidnapping the 23-year-old woman who disappeared on October 4th.
What we're seeing and what we continue to see is a clear pattern, you know, of violence, of this type of behavior. And so that's something that we plan to pursue to the fullest extent of our abilities.
Assistant District Attorney Ashley Tuzlowski is referring to this cell phone video shared on social media that's now being used as part of their investigation. Officials say it was taken earlier this year at a home in North Philadelphia.
What you're seeing in the video is it is a cell phone video that was taken by a person that was inside that residence. Keon King is, I mean, you can see his face, it's him on the video. He hops a fence and tries to gain entry into that property. He comes back twice, trying to gain entry into that property through a window.
Tuzlowski says at some point after the video ends, the woman and another person in the home stepped outside, and that's when it's alleged King kidnapped her while his 2-year-old child was in the back seat.
He grabbed the victim, put her in the car, and drove away and assaulted her.
The charges were ultimately withdrawn after authorities say the woman didn't show up to court. As for the search for Kata Scott today, investigators focused their attention on King's 1999 Toyota Camry, which they believe Scott was in before she disappeared. Police sources also say they recovered evidence connected to Scott at an abandoned school in Germantown after their search there yesterday.
Today's the day that I get to drop my daughter off for the rest of her life. I can't really say that I feel sad about it. I really don't care. I gave up custody of my kid. I put her up for adoption. She's 7 years old. Oh, sorry, I literally just woke up. She's going to school. I'm about to drop her off to her last day of school. I have to take her to, and then the adoptees are picking her up from the school pickup line. And yeah, I'm a free woman after that. I'm selling my house. I'm buying an RV. I'm about to travel the world. I'm pretty excited. I have been like waiting for this moment my entire life, ever since I had her, and I was being guilty and not giving her up just because like I felt like as a mom you're not supposed to give your kid up. But then I had a good talk with like my boyfriend, and he said that it doesn't matter what other people think, it's what you want, and I don't want a kid, so today's the day that
The girl's mother and aunt are in jail tonight, and we've just learned the mother's boyfriend has also been arrested. Investigators have revealed disturbing new details about the death of Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia, saying that she suffered from physical abuse and malnourishment. Police say it came at the hands of her mother, her aunt, and the mother's boyfriend.
Reports were that someone was in the rear of the property dropping off items to include that storage bin.
The investigation into Jacqueline Garcia Torres's death began with an anonymous caller who reported suspicious activity in the backyard of an abandoned New Britain home on Wednesday. But it unraveled into a disturbing case of alleged child abuse and accusations that her body was hidden for a year by the young girl's own family members. Evidence indicates that Jacqueline was the victim of prolonged physical abuse and malnourishment prior to her death. It is also believed that following her death, Jacqueline's body was kept in the family's basement. Police say Jacqueline likely died in fall of 2024, and she would have been 11 years old at the time.
These teens are charged with conspiracy to commit a mass Columbine-style school shooting. Connor Pruitt, 13, and his 14-year-old buddy Philip Bird were allegedly planning to target their middle school in Lehigh Acres, Florida. The arrest happened after an 8th grade teacher got a tip from a student at the school that one of the boys had a gun in his backpack. When the backpack was opened, no gun was found, but police say there was a map with markings allegedly showing the exact location of all of the surveillance cameras in the school. The teens are said to have been extensively studying the 1999 Columbine massacre.
What do you say about what you think their intent was?
I am absolutely convinced that we prevented a mass shooting. The two suspects have been surfing online trying to buy guns on the black market. They researched thoroughly Columbine. They were inspired by Columbine.
Deputies searched their homes and found ammo, shotgun shells, knives, and other weapons. Philip Bird's mother, Carrie Tuller, broke down in tears during their appearance in court on Sunday.
He's just a little boy. He didn't think this was really serious.
I spoke with Carrie and stepdad Chris today.
Carrie, how are you convinced that your son was not about to carry out a mass shooting?
My son is no monster. He would not have hurt anybody. My niece goes to the school, and he sure as heck wouldn't have hurt his family.
We have new details on a woman's murder at a Dallas shopping center that escalated from a courteous gesture to a violent confrontation. Good evening, I'm Steve Eager.
I'm Heather Hayes, Fox 4's Alex Boyer, live with the details from arrest records. Alex.
Hey guys, and according to that arrest warrant affidavit, we now know that it was the victim who got mad at the suspect for not saying thank you after she held the door open for the suspect at an area business. Well, that ended up spilling over into another nearby business where the arguing continued, and then once they were outside, that is when that verbal altercation turned deadly.
The shooter was telling them, come outside, like, let's handle it outside, like, you know, let's fight outside. And the mom and the daughter were kind of just like telling her to like go away.
This 27-year-old nurse who asked that we not use her name had just walked out of this PetSmart store located off West Wheatland Road in the southeast Oak Cliff area of Dallas Tuesday afternoon when she noticed two women, one with her 20-year-old daughter, arguing in the parking lot. Moments later, she heard gunshots.
But the mom and daughter tried to like get in their car and like de-escalate the situation, but the lady wasn't having it. So they ended up starting to fight. And then that's when the lady pulled out her gun and shot her.
Dallas police later identified the suspect as 22-year-old Kiona Hampton. She fled the scene in her car, but was arrested hours later with the help of surveillance video that captured her image, car, and license plate. The witness ran to help and put her training to work, performing CPR.
The daughter was next to the mom the whole time. She, like, it's hard because, like, you know, the screaming of a child for her mother is never easy, and it's never going to leave my head.
The victim, identified as Cecilia Simpson, died at the hospital. All of this started on the other end of the shopping center at 5 Below as both the suspect and victim exited the store with something that might seem like a simple gesture of courtesy. According to the arrest warrant affidavit, Simpson got upset at Hampton for not thanking her for holding the door. It spiraled quickly from there. Hampton, who reportedly waived her Miranda rights, confirmed that she engaged in the verbal dispute, entering the PetSmart twice and continuing the argument, throwing a drink bottle at Simpson's car when she was about to leave and engaging in a physical altercation with her, adding that she took out her gun and shot Simpson, stating she was trying to get Simpson away from her. And again, the victim's daughter was a witness to all of it.
I've been trying not to cry, but just like, you know, being in high school, like my mom was such an important person during my lifetime, and she's the reason I became a nurse. My whole family is. Honestly, if I could just hug that daughter, like I just feel so bad for her, and I just want her to know that I did everything I could. Those other people did everything they could.
And those other
Now at 11, a broad daylight robbery in West Hollywood. It happened so quickly, we're showing it to you again. A man just walking on the street when he was held up at gunpoint by 3 men. Good evening, everyone. I'm Carolyn Johnson. It all happened this afternoon. Robert Kovacic is in the newsroom now with a video and reaction from a witness. Robert.
Carolyn, we are just getting all of this information into our newsroom about what is being described as terrifying moments on a street in West Hollywood, and this went down at 5:45 this afternoon. Let's start by giving you a live pic of Hacienda Place. Now, this is located between Fountain and Santa Monica. The video we are about to show you comes from the security camera on the building, and then that security camera video was given to WeHo Times. Tonight, WeHo Times sharing that video with us. Now, there was a man in a black shirt in the beginning of that video. That's WeHo Times reporter and also West Hollywood resident Mike Pingle, who just happened to be there, who became a witness to this crime. And just minutes ago, Mike Pingle takes us through it.
And then all of a sudden, I hear some yelling behind me. I turn around, and there were 3 masked men, all dressed in black, and they threw this guy down on the ground. They weren't turning him around. They were like ripping the jewelry off of him. He had a necklace. They ripped it off. They took his watch, and they had 2 guns, and there was a crowbar because there were 3 people that attacked him, and then there was 1 person in the car that when they got back in the car, they just drove away.
Mike explains that the man attacked is from San Francisco, visiting with his husband, friends here in West Hollywood, and that's why he was on that street. Mike says his knees were scraped in this incident. The man has declined to go on camera, and even at this hour, Carolyn, when we spoke to Mike Pingle, he's been a longtime West Hollywood resident, and even Mike is still shaken up.
I can't even explain the just sheer terror. They weren't even following him. They just stopped, saw him walking, and just threw him on the ground and stole everything.
Stole everything, including his Rolex watch and his wallet. Mike says his wedding ring was stolen too. They took his phone, apparently, didn't take his phone, but threw it and smashed it. But they did not actually take the phone, and we're not sure if that man even had access to it. Mike says the West Hollywood Sheriff's deputies showed up within 5 minutes. You see him right there. And tonight, the WeHo Sheriff's statement tells us, and their department tells us, that what happened has been confirmed, and they are now actively investigating. WeHo Times reporter.
15-year-old girl is in jail charged with murder. Police say she shot and killed her 17-year-old ex-boyfriend Monday afternoon in the Jenkintown section of Abington Township, Montgomery County. An autopsy revealing that he died from a gunshot wound to his head. Investigators say that 15-year-old suspect says the shooting was an accident. Action News reporter Liam Pinder live for us at the Abington Police Department with an update on this investigation. Leland, what are you learning about this shooting?
Well, Gray, as you mentioned, that boy tragically shot in the head. Police say he died there at the scene. Authorities also saying the even younger shooter allegedly admitted to panicking, leaving the scene and not calling for help. It was a typical Monday afternoon in Jenkintown until 14-year-old Kyrie Grimes Jr. spotted police cars outside his building and called a friend.
He heard shots in the building and then people were screaming.
Police say 15-year-old Precious Hamilton of Crumlin is now in custody, accused of shooting and killing her 17-year-old ex-boyfriend, Basim Baker, inside his home on Old York Road.
It's definitely like something that you wouldn't expect in this area.
Officers responded to the home shortly after 5 p.m. where they found Baker unresponsive. Prosecutors say his mother discovered him dead on the bedroom floor. In the criminal complaint, Baker's mother told investigators Hamilton had been at the home all weekend. Baker left the two to run errands around 2:40 on Monday and returned around 4:30, discovering her son around 5. Police say they obtained video showing Hamilton leaving the building by herself just before 3:30. The complaint states Hamilton picked up the firearm in a rapid fashion to pack her belongings and was surprised when the revolver discharged, striking Baker instantly. Detectives also found this photo of Hamilton holding a gun from a previous day on Baker's iPad.
I feel as that kids shouldn't be near weapons.
Police say they have not recovered the gun, but say that Hamilton admitted to stealing it from an acquaintance 2 months ago.
Parents should be watching their children a little bit more closely.
Now, Precious Hamilton, just 15 years old, is being charged as an adult. She faces third-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, and several other charges tonight. We're live here in Abington Township. Leland Pinder for Action News at 10 on PHL 17. Shari.
Yeah, really.